Hello, this is next task 17b. Here we will be using page, section, and column breaks. It means we have three types of breaks. One is page, second one is section, and the third one is column. So page break will take wherever you are at to the next page. Section breaks are mostly used to give different layouts in the same document, and column breaks will take the content to the next column. So there are three types of breaks. Okay, so we will use these breaks in our document 17b. For this task, we will need our previous file. Let's go and copy and rename 17b. Let's open this up, and this is where we have left off. We have 4 or 5 pages, and we will be working with this document. Last time, the previous exercise or task, we defined the tab stops left, right, and the center, right, and everything was fixed so that our tab stops are in line properly according to our document. And before starting this task, let me do something real quick. So what I want to change is the font style of my body text. I'm gonna tell you the reason why in a bit. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to modify it, and instead of Courier New, I'll have Times New Roman. Times New Roman. Okay, so everything changes. For the table, I'll also use Times New Roman. Okay, and the reason for this is that Times New Roman has less letter spacing, okay, the space between the letters, and it will give me more kind of options to resize the text or the table. Okay, that's the reason why I decided to choose Times New Roman, which is also in the serif generic font family. And for the header part, let's see, what am I using? It seems like I forgot to use this style. Okay, let's also make sure that we are using the same style as in the footer, right? So here I am using 14A footer. This place is also right now 14A footer. No problem with this, because these are sans serif fonts. Let's scroll down if everything is okay. More. I have to also modify the list level 1 and 2 to Times New Roman, and the second list level also to Times New Roman. Click OK. Let's change also the font style of the last table. Times New Roman. Click Save. And here what I can do is I can just use less space for my tables. This will be coming in handy when I'll be dividing this into the columns, because my task is about breaking the body into columns, okay, and also specifying different kinds of page layouts inside the same document. Okay, right now I'm good to go. So if I zoom out, I have 4 pages right now. The body text is Times New Roman. Okay, so I have changed that. I have changed the header part because I forgot to actually make it as 14A header or footer. Okay, and the rest is the same. So let's go ahead and read the task. So it says keep only the two titles on the first page of the document. Okay, so we need to have a section break because in the second sentence it says set the orientation of the first page to portrait and the rest of the document to the landscape. So if you want to have two different page orientation in the same document, you have to use a section break. Okay, that's what we are going to do right now. So we will go and write before on Monday, February 2nd starts. We will insert under layout section break, which will be next page, because in the first page only the top two rows should be there, others should be on the next line. Okay, next page, sorry. So insert the section break and start new section on the next page. That's what we want. If you click that, it takes you to the next page. Okay, and right now I can change the page orientation of the first page. Orientation of the first page, it should be portrait and the rest of the document to landscape. So if I come to the first page and change the orientation to portrait, okay, see what happens. Right now this is portrait, the rest of the pages are in landscape. So that's what the book was saying. But before proceeding, there are a couple of things that you have to pay attention for. One of the first things is that you have to unlink the header and footer of the second and the rest of the pages from the first page, because header and footer in the first page have different widths. Okay, that's why we'll go to the second page. See, it says same as previous writing here, so we have to change it. So when I double clicked and I'm inside the header in the second page, I will go and unlink. Okay, unlink, so that it's not linked to my previous page's header. I'm gonna do the same thing for the footer. Okay, right now they are independent of the first page. Let me come to this place, and you see that things are scattered a little bit. On the center tab stop and the right tab stops are in different positions. So what I have to do is I need to define new tab stops. Okay, 0 centimeter needs to be on the left. Let's set it. Now where the center should be. The center starts at 0 and it is right now at 10. So center will be somewhere around 5, I think. Yeah, it will be somewhere around 5. So that's the half of 10. And center needs to be 5. Set. And the right tab stop needs to be at 10. Okay, set. Okay. Okay, now let's go ahead and change this one also. So I can move it over here, but it doesn't work on this one. So I can just go to paragraph, tabs, and just change this by clearing it, setting it to the right. Okay. Okay, right now is okay. I can move these things to new line like this, and this should work fine. Okay. save it. So if things get messed up like that, you can use new lines so that first you have saved on and the date, and the next line may have page number, then on the third line you will have the full path. Okay, then let's see what we have in the second page. So it's also the same because the width of the content is 14 centimeters, so center needs to be changed, and this one needs to be also moved. Okay, we go home, paragraph, tabs. We will not need 16.51, clear it out, and for the left one we will need 0 set, and for the right one we will need starting from 0 till 14. Yeah, we need 14 centimeters for the right. Set. Okay. Yeah, right now it's good. Let's do the same thing with the footer. I can move it manually for the center, but let's do it from here for the right tab. I will clear this out, and there needs to be 14, right, set, okay, click it. Good. So right now my header and footer of the second and the rest of the pages are good. In here it also looks better right now. Okay, let's save it one more time and read the task. Okay, so we are done with the first two sentences over here, and then set all of the body text except the table into two columns with a 3 centimeter spacing and a vertical line between the columns. Okay, so right now what we have to do here is we will need to have this table on the next page. The reason for that is I have my page split into two pages. Okay, so let's take care of that first. So layout breaks, I will need a next page because that's what I want to have, because this should be in the next page right over here. And right now I can select it or just put your cursor over there. Okay, then you can have two columns, and the spacing needs to be 3 millimeters. You can type 0.3 centimeters or just 3 millimeters. Okay, and the line between them, it will automatically convert it to centimeters. Click OK, and that's what we have right now. But as you can see, we have a kind of a window over here which we have to get rid of. What we can do is we can move this section to the next column. Okay, so you can put your cursor right on the subheading, then click breaks, and we will use column break. Okay, so you have column break and the content appears over here. Then what we will have next, we have to divide this the rest of the page into two columns. For this, let's right now have a continuous section break right over here, because for the tables we need to have continuous section break so that table doesn't split. Okay, doesn't split. So I'm gonna have a continuous section break, and then let's do the same thing in the beginning of of this table. We don't want, as I told you, we don't want our table to be split into two columns. Okay, so right now here is the section break, which will mean that my tables will not be separated into two sections, so it needs to stay as single, okay, as a single component, kind of like that. So right now I can put my cursor over there, and let's actually split it into two columns, 3 millimeters line between. Okay, right now this is not what we want. The reason for this is that my table is over here, so I didn't put a section break over here, so I need to change it, but the rest looks okay. So for this one, let's make a column break, or let's see, right now I'm at the end of this section. Maybe what I can do is just increase the width. Okay, increase the width of the table just like this, and the problem goes off. Okay. Oops. Okay, I think this is okay for now, and later we will change the list level spacing between the margin. Okay, so let's save it, close it, and then let's go down to the next task. Here it says that we have to set the first level bullet list to be indented by 3 centimeters and the second by 3 millimeters and 6 millimeters. Okay, now let's copy of this file, so we can see, and then we will move it down. We will modify that. Right now it is 1 centimeter, which needs to be changed to 0.3 centimeters, which is 3 millimeters, right? Okay, we changed. Let's do the same thing with the second list level. Needs to be 0.6 centimeters. Okay, okay, and it is, I think, okay. And one more thing we can do is, right now my table is not okay because I have a widow. Okay, the first line is at the bottom of the page, and the rest of the things are the next. So what I can do is I can use not a continuous, but I can use something like the next page. Okay, but as you can see, the columns are gone if I do it, so I can maybe make next page one more time, then I have it just like this. Okay, so these are some of the workarounds, and right now I'm done. So if I zoom out a little bit, that's what my document looked like. Okay. Yeah. Thanks.